Alrighty guys, today is a very juicy video. We'll be going through the top 10 celebrities who got fired from their own show. All of them will shock you, especially number 1. Let's get into it. First, we have the late Chadwick Boseman. Chadwick landed one of his first acting roles in the soap opera All My Children. Chadwick enjoyed his first week of filming but thought his character was written stereotypically black, and so he mustered up the courage to say something, expressing his opinion on the writing to some of his higher-ups. Well, the conversation didn't go well as he expected, and Chadwick was let go from the show after only 1 week. Yikes. Fired for standing up for what he believed in. That has gotta hurt. But the story ends on a semi-humorous note as Chadwick was replaced with his future co-star Michael B. Jordan, who went on to play Chadwick's character for over 3 years. Chadwick went on to have an extraordinary career, notably as the titular role in the Black Panther series, which landed him a spot on the Times 100 Most Influential People list for 2018. Sadly, Chadwick passed away 2 years later from colon cancer, but we will always remember his talent and his willingness to speak up for what he believed in. Next on the list of celebs who got fired is Charlie Sheen. A lot of us know this story as it graced the tabloids of every major news source for over 1 year. Charlie was starring in the hit CBS show 2.5 Men, where he was making nearly $2 million in episode. Charlie seemed on top of the world until he wasn't. In March 2011, Sheen was fired from the show after he began making a string of negative comments about series creator Chuck Lorre in multiple online and network television interviews. At the time, Sheen was reportedly struggling with addiction and faced serious allegations from multiple women. One incident occurred on Christmas morning in 2009, where Charlie reportedly put his hands around his wife's throat and threatened to kill her. He spent the rest of the day in jail. Merry Christmas, Charlie. Our next celebrity is Julianne Moore. We know Julianne from movies like May December, Dear Evan Hansen, Crazy Stupid Love, and of course, The Hunger Games. But not all of Julianne's movie contracts have ended in a happy ending. Julianne was cast to star in the award-winning drama Can You Ever Forgive Me? But creative differences between her and the director resulted in her getting fired. Apparently, Julianne felt the character should have a prosthetic nose and wear a fat suit, but the director strongly disagreed. The role ended up going to Melissa McCarthy, who was nominated for an Oscar for the portrayal of the character. I watched the movie last year, guys, and honestly, I cannot see the role being played by anybody else other than Miss McCarthy. The award nominations were very well deserved. Alrighty guys, next we have Lori Laughlin. This is one of the wildest stories you will hear today, I can guarantee it, and it involves rowing and lying. Lori Laughlin, known as Aunt Becky on the hit 90s sitcom Full House, was enjoying a thriving acting career, bringing her iconic character back to life for the new Netflix reboot Fuller House until disaster struck and she got caught buying her daughter's way into the University of Southern California as a rowing athlete. Her daughter, Olivia Jade, is a famous influencer and model, far from a rowing athlete. Lori reportedly paid $500,000 to a college admissions officer and spent 2 months behind bars for the ordeal. Since the scandal, her daughter Olivia Jade is constantly flooded with comments on her TikTok like, "How's the rowing going, Olivia? Sore after a long day of practice?" Lori was eventually fired from her role on Fuller House, as well as her contract with Hallmark. Sorry, Lori Laughlin fans. I guess you won't be getting a Christmas blessing too anytime soon. Our next celebrity on the celebs who got fired list is a longtime co-star of Lori Laughlin's Miss Candace Cameron. Just a quick warning, guys, this story involves quite a bit of homophobia. Candace was known for Full House, as well as her starring role in Fuller House, and also her starring roles in Hallmark movies, until her homophobic and proud comments came to the forefront. But let's back up a moment to her drama with a Fuller House co-star. This co-star played a queer character on the show for 4 episodes and shared some behind-the-scenes tea on TikTok. She said, "I remember I got sat down by the writers in the studio to basically warn me how this person allegedly was trying to get the character removed and not have a queer character on the show," adding that she was also warned and prepared that the Fuller House star's fan base might also target her. Yikes. Now, some even more tea. Candace Candace was starring in multiple Hallmark Christmas movies until she suddenly got fired from the company. And nobody knew why until in 2022 she began a new Christmas movie company where she states keeps traditional marriage at the forefront, aka only straight couples. My guess is that Candace did not like the direction Hallmark was going in, adding gay couples to some of their movies, and she voiced her opinion and got let go. Now, let's chat about Miss Anne Hathaway. Did you know Anne was originally set to star in Judd Apatow's Knocked Up? But there was one scene they just could not agree on. Apparently Anne really wanted Judd to cut that huge childbirthing scene, or at least make it a little less graphic, but he wasn't willing to budge, and unfortunately it cost Anne the role. Katherine Heigl went on to star in the highly successful comedy, and Anne moved on with her career. Anne commented on the subject saying, "My issue with it was that having not experienced motherhood myself, I didn't know how I was gonna feel on the other side about giving birth. And by the way, I could pop a kid out and think, oh well, I really should have done that movie." Well, Anne had nothing to worry about as her career was about to take off even more. Anne won an Oscar 6 years later in 2013 for her role in 2012's Les Mis, a movie remake of the Broadway musical. For the role, Anne reportedly dropped 25 pounds by eating only oatmeal paste each day. In addition to her deprived food intake, she stated she also deprived herself emotionally for the role. To properly descend into the darkness required for the role, Hathaway says she sent her husband, Adam Schulman, back to the US so that she could get into the character's mental space alone while filming in London, England. She needed to go further into that negative place to play the character, and she states, "I love him so much that I was like, you're making me happy, you're keeping me up, and I'm clawing to the sides of my life, and I need to fall into a pit, and you need to go, honey." She apparently also became increasingly temperamental. There was one day when, I kid you not, I picked a fight with him because he wouldn't watch a sunset with me, Hathaway said, adding that I was dealing with a lot of darkness and I was starving, so it wasn't that much fun to be around. Our next celebrity is Christian Bale. We all know Christian from his early breakout hit American Psycho, playing the sociopathic serial killer Patrick Bateman. But did you know that Christian was reportedly fired from the role and replaced with Leonardo DiCaprio, as they wanted a bigger name to attach to the film? DiCaprio quit soon before filming and Christian was back. Bale went on to have an insanely successful career, notably appearing as Batman in Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises. But when Warner Brothers decided to do one more installment of the franchise with Christian, he reportedly fired himself, believing that the previous director of the franchise wouldn't want a fourth movie. Next is a bit of an intense situation, and it involves Miss Amber Heard. Now, we all know Amber has been in the media over the last few years for, let's just say, not the best stuff. The infamous Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard trial of 2022 included some troubling details about Amber. Johnny Depp stated that Amber would poo in their bed on purpose and repeatedly punch him. He said she would also have affairs frequently with male celebs such as James Franco and her ex Elon Musk. Yikes. The live streams of the trial garnered over 100 million total views, becoming one of the most talked about trials in recent history. Amber was found guilty and has to pay $15 million to Johnny Depp. That's a lot of money. Well, after the trial, it was rumored that Amber had been fired from her starring role in Aquaman 2, and everybody thought it made quite a bit of sense. But reports say her ex-boyfriend, Mr. Elon Musk, had one of his litigators send a scorched earth letter to Warner Brothers threatening to burn the house down if the actress wasn't brought back for a sequel. And Warner Brothers obliged. Now, let's discuss Ryan Gosling's story. We know Ryan from movies such as La La Land, Blade Runner, The Notebook, Crazy Stupid Love, and he has been nominated for numerous awards, including a Golden Globe Award, 2 Oscar nominations, and 6 Screen Actors Guild Awards. But Ken from Barbie wasn't always living the dream life. In 2008, Ryan was cast in the film The Lovely Bones as the role of the dad. In preparation for the role, he gained 60 pounds as he believed the role would be better served heavy set. When he arrived on set for the first day of filming, the studio did not agree with Gosling's decision to gain a mass amount of weight and let him go. Ryan said, quote, "I just showed up on set and I had gotten it wrong." then I was fat and unemployed. Last but not least, we have Megan Fox. You might know her as Machine Gun Kelly's ex when the tabloids captured every moment of their breakup. But Megan is no stranger to tabloid gossip and controversy. In 2009, Megan told a news outlet that the director of Transformers Dark of the Moon was, quote, a nightmare to work with. Yikes. Executive producer Steven Spielberg reportedly said to, quote, fire her right now. Spielberg is known to be a calm and focused man, but I guess that comment was a little bit too far for him. Megan's representatives denied this statement and said she herself chose not to return for any more Transformers movies. Who was right? I guess we'll never know. Well guys, that's it for today's video. Check out this video next for more Celebrity Inside Scoop.